You better send this shit, otherwise this is.
We're on mute now, we're on mute.
We are now live streaming.
Leo, can you hear us?
Salutations. Oh.
Oh, 1 second.
Salutations. How you guys doing?
I've seen always that.
Wait, where is it?
Can you mute the YouTube?
Yeah, I'm trying to find it. I'm dying.
I will.
One day I'll
That happens
remember.
every time.
One day I'll remember.
Yeah.
You're the loud
Okay, shit.
I'm gonna go to
decide because I don't see her.
gallery. Yeah, no. The last person you said.
Leo, can you still hear us?
Yeah. I'll know you.
You want to talk about that?
Is it on Zoom? Oh, awesome. Then that's great. I actually don't have to hours.
I just.
Leo, where can I find ties as exquisite as yours? Why'd you pick your earrings? You're wearing earrings.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't want to interrupt Silva.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead and get started. Begin with 10 minutes of, or sorry. Roll call. My, I'm trying to jump the gun.
Hi everyone. It's you all. Alright, we'll start a new call. Okay, Naya.
Here.
Musa.
Here.
Aiden.
Here.
Mo.
Here.
Here. Taya. And Mariam. Here. Aiden De Silva.
Here.
Chinmay.
Here.
Hanvi.
Here.
Audrey.
Sorry.
Here.
Sorry.
Eddie.
Here.
She's on Zoom. Aiden Chauncey.
Here.
And Ben.
Here.
Ale.
Here.
Pierce.
Here.
Fabia. Here. Brian.
Here.
Yadu. Cameron. And Drew Lou. Ion.
Here.
Stanley.
Here.
Okay. Tanisha. Rafa. Megan.
Here.
Michelle. Gustav.
Here.
Just. Shakar. Austin. Minna. Here. Kennedy. Andrew. Jeffrey.
Here.
Melody. Paris. Maxwell. Anjali. Here. Leo.
Here.
Alexa. And Juan. Oh, and any members of the public. I'm in charge. Oh, yes. Want to say your name?
Oh, I'm Alex.
Hi,
Alex.
I'm Nina.
Hi, Nina.
Nina. Yeah.
Nina.
I'm Jocelyn. Nina.
I'm Jocelyn.
Hi.
Jocelyn.
Hello. And
Michelle.
Michelle.
Yes.
Hi, Michelle. That we're supposed to do a consolidated.
Okay, we will end.
Also, feel free to grab snacks. We have pumpkin spice juice.
Before we enter open forum, just a reminder, this should hopefully be a very brief meeting. I'm gonna do everything I can to make this as quick as possible, give everyone back their Sunday evenings. If we could please refrain from using technology for members of the United Undergraduate Assembly. You can use whatever you want. If you could refrain from using technology if you're part of UA, greatly appreciate that. We'll enter 10 minutes of open forum. This is a time, for those of you who are new, for anyone to speak, we'll give preference to members of the public. Any issues you have, anything that's come up, now is your time to share. So. Anyone can open it up.
I got it.
So,
Yeah.
this is a forum, so this is.
This is open forum.
Yes,
Okay, do I just go?
just raise your hand.
Okay,
Go ahead.
okay. Everybody hear me from here?
Yeah.
Okay, hi everybody, my name is Michelle, I'm here, political science economics, Chinese minor. I am essentially here to pitch an idea that Tanisha has taken up. Is it a UA project? Is that what it's called?
So basically, Vishal's just gonna present something that he's been working on for a long time, and he's a senior graduating soon, so I really like the idea. I'm gonna let him explain what it is, so I thought I'd just take it over for the next 3 years, and see where it goes.
Yeah.
I sent you the pictures, so I think it didn't.
I can.
Yeah, reset it to Aiden right now.
Okay, how many of you are like either academically studying or interested in government politics or law? Raise your hand. Okay, good. And how many of you feel like there's a culture around that here? Okay, less hands, right? And so I'm kind of very much involved with what I would call politics at Matter. I'm finance chair of the Government Politics Association, and the GPA. I used this tonight, I think, a couple weeks ago, but it's essentially a trade association of 4 different clubs. And we kind of just act in concert. We host events and do organization and so forth. But we really have 4 very different branches. That's kind of my role involved in this. I, like many of you, kind of came to kind of expecting that there would be some robust civic culture, or that here at Penn, there would kind of just be this hover community around this very big topic area, which is government politics and law. And there kind of isn't. And I see that a lot of you here agree with me on that. And kind of just to truncate this pitch that I'm making, I, alongside with other student leaders and related organizations, Tanisha being one of them as co-president of Polis, is that right? Have been trying to do something about this in any way that we can. So I've essentially been meeting with a lot of, I don't know if you can show this over here, a lot of.
Is it like the notebook?
Yeah, it's a notebook. These are essentially all the meetings that I've been having. It's a lot, and I'm trying to meet with administrators, student leaders, and then department chairs to essentially gather support for an idea that Katie Bonner actually said I should work on. And essentially, I went to her and I said, look, there isn't really a culture around this sort of topic areas that we might expect from Penn. Why? And she said, we as administration agree, and we're trying to do something about this too. And the examples being changes to the freshman curriculum, stipulations to the Lightning Grant, kind of renewed administrative focus on IDEA, Force, Penn and Washington Civic House, the revamp of the Penn Washington Center. Penn wants to do something about this whole civic discussion, civil discourse kind of issue that they feel is on campus, and also just universities' lack of involvement in the industry of government politics and what they feel should be further. And so I just wanted to demonstrate that I'm meeting with a lot of people in the UA as part of like the groups that I want to meet with and as plan here speak for both. Essentially, the idea, concretely, Katie Bonner asked me what's my ideal form of this, and it's to kind of, I've looked at how things like Kelly Writer's House have the institutional backing and cultural cachet to kind of create a community around writing that really wouldn't exist otherwise. If Kelly Writer's House was just writers at Penn on Penn clubs, it wouldn't exist. That community would not exist. And so what I've been pitching to people is to essentially convert an abandoned fraternity house and make it some society for government politics and law here at Penn. I've gotten a lot of support from administrators as well as and department chairs. Anything with the check mark on there is someone who's approved the idea. Anything with the dash is a meeting that I have scheduled the next 2 or 3 weeks. Everybody else I still have to meet with. And I really just wanted to inform you guys that I'm trying to make this happening, that administrators seem relatively on board with the idea so far. Secondly, see if I can somehow, I don't know how this will work, get a stamp of approval from the UA. And third, you guys have a wealth of information about how things work at this university that I don't. And maybe hear what you guys have to say about this. And that's kind of just my truncated thing. I don't want to go too long. But that's the idea of just the brass tacks of the idea, the general thrust of it, and support I have for so far. So I want to hear from you guys really. Yeah.
How much time do you have?
We still have like 5 minutes. and it can always be extended.
Wait, what's the end goal? Like, what does culture around government politics and
Yeah.
law look like relative to
Yeah.
like what we have right now?
Sure, I mean, I guess the longer version of that is, I think we would all agree there's these centrifugal forces on campus that pull you either towards business or tech, right? And that's great if you are into that, if you are in those schools, et cetera. And I've noticed how things like Kelly Writer's House, that's my example, it's not a perfect analogy, but I do notice how they kind of are these oases for other topic areas or other focuses. I have a friend in engineering, all of her friends are into STEM. She has this interest in writing, and Kelly Writer's House didn't exist. There just wouldn't be a community around writers or for writers, right? There just isn't a hub for something like government politics and law that's an equivalent to that. And I know that anybody who's involved in a club related to this sort of thing, whether it be like moot court or kind debate society or like anything the Government Politics Association, feel very strongly that, why don't we all know each other in the way that I imagine, the leaders or people involved in clubs and engineering all kind of have a sense of who the other players are. Same with the Wharton. And so we're just trying to create some community around that. I will say from like what I call the program heads, so Civic House, ORS, the Fox Leadership Program, Andrea Mitchell Center, Paideia, et cetera, they also feel very strongly about an administrative programmatic level. They are also very fractured and diffuse. This could double as something that could serve as a hub for their operations on top of student organizations as well.
I see, and really quickly, and so you think that the like right line for the amount of change is more institutionalized, like
Correct.
incentives rather than like, because you do a financial GPSA and you think that like that club presence is not enough to motivate people to be as
Exactly.
motivated?
I don't really think it is. Like, again, I asked, if there was just a club called Writers at Penn, would there really be a community around writers that the Kelly Writers House has created? Yeah, I really don't think there would. That's just my best example.
I guess I wanted to ask, like, doesn't a hub for politics kind of already exist in the Perelman Political Science Building?
Yeah.
Just because I know PORS is held there, GPA is basically housed there,
Yeah.
as is Andrew Mitchell, et cetera. So doesn't that also already act as a hub for government already?
Yeah, I mean, there isn't really space there, is what I'd say.
Okay.
Like, there is no space for these, I don't even have a mistake, these 12, 15 student groups to really house operations. They're really, also even for the programs that are there, they want more space too. Civic House, I mean, I know Civic House is in a different building, but they talk about not having enough space to house their whole thing. AMC says they can house grad students in a better location. I mean, I've talked to the heads of Paideia and Ford as well. They say they could use the space or something as well. Like, A, the programs don't have enough space into what they want, and B, there really isn't anything tying all the student groups together. And I guess Perelman Political Science Building isn't really, that's not its purpose.
Mhm.
That makes any sense.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Yeah, right here.
It-
No, sir.
Yeah, I think this is really interesting. I have a couple of questions. The first one is that Kelly Writers House is not a space for different student clubs to house operations.
Yeah.
And I think that this sort of thing should exist, but like that's not really what it does. The second thing is that where would this be?
Yeah, I mean, number one, it's an imperfect analogy I'm giving. I'm really just using that analogy to say like the fact that it kind of induces or creates something that would happen otherwise.
Yeah.
And create space for something.
Yeah.
But like the way it operates, I know very different. Where this would be, so what I've been told by Katie Bonner is that she goes, university bureaucracy being what it is, you meet with everybody first. Hence why I'm meeting with them first. I essentially go back to her and she's just great, you can now meet with her and he will try and talk to him and see what he thinks. Only then should he give his thumbs up, will I be able to, or at least he will talk to whoever is in charge of spaces on campus. And they would say, okay, if you want to make this happen, here's XYZ education. So I guess to your question, I don't know exactly where, but admin seems interested, so I'm pursuing it, and I guess I'm fine.
I really like this idea and I think it should exist. I'm just worried that like a lot of our projects on our own are also fighting for spaces for certain things. And it's been very hard to achieve that.
Yeah,
And maybe you should frame it as is not just looking for that, because that's something that the university maybe doesn't work hard enough to get for student groups.
yeah, if there's one constant throughout every meeting I have, it's the space issues, how. So no, I know, and so I guess it's just not something I can like speak to right now.
Yeah.
But it'll cross over.
So I know we have several hands, but we have 20 seconds left. I don't know if any-
Motion to extend open forum by being that's where
We move
I move to extend open forum by being.
by 3 minutes. All those in favor? Thank you. Any opposed? We'll extend by 3 minutes and business.
So I just kind of had a question. You said that you think engineering and business, I think, have like some presence on campus that you're
Yeah.
trying to achieve public policy. Am I right on that?
Public policy, government politics, law, etc.
Okay, so outside of engineering and business, are there any other things that you believe have that prominence on there?
Yeah,
Okay, so then.
do you?
Huh?
Do you?
No, I'm not sure. I'm just asking.
Yeah.
And then for engineering and business, like what type of spaces do they have that you're looking to replicate?
Oh, to replicate. Oh, I mean, I guess I wouldn't replicate what they have, because they have literal sections of the campus.
Yeah.
We're in one of them. And so I wouldn't replicate.
So like, are you
So
talking
I'm not
about?
asking for Fells to become some giant. I do think that there could be some opening similar to one of our houses that could be. It's smaller, but I don't wanna replicate. Receipts, like a big ass thing.
I mean, like, is there like any space that like you can say like, hey, like this, like this section of the student population has the space, and then we can public policy students also want to have a space like that.
You mean in terms of the engineering important?
Yeah,
I mean, I think that Wharton having this whole building is kind of just like, this is a place for what is too complicated, like to me to think. There isn't, I'm not asking for an equivalent of that for public policy and legal stuff, but I do think that there's something to having a physical presence, if that makes any sense.
so it's like you're looking for like a building where all the public policy classes.
Kind of, yeah, just for both on the programmatic administrative side and the student organization side too.
Okay,
I mean, that does a lot to tie it up, yeah.
thank you.
Audrey.
I wanted to ask about the idea of having it in the like abandoned fraternity house
Yeah,
you said?
yeah.
Is that something that you've heard about from administrators, or is that like a concept that you're kind of?
I pitched it to them and I mean, Katie Bonner seems receptive to it.
Did you know like for a fact that there are like houses that are open?
Like Deke, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, that's something like that, or Pike shut down in May, didn't it? So I'm curious, you are a transfer student, right?
I am, yeah.
Is there something, I don't know what university you went to before, but was there something similar to this at your previous university?
Not for public, I went to a very small school, so
Okay.
not for public policy.
Okay.
But yeah, I would say like more in terms of like cultural spaces, but I don't think you can really draw like a direct comparison.
Okay, just curious.
Yeah.
We have 30 seconds. If we want to ask one more quick question, we could also extend or we could move.
We'll take time by like 5 minutes.
How many more people have questions already?
There's okay, so you move to extend,
Second.
Also, I don't think we should, like, I don't want him to wait all the way until the end and you.
That's so you made the.
Second.
All those in favor? Any opposed? We'll extend by another 5 minutes. Were you done with your question, Bobby?
I have not a question, more so a comment. I am an engineer and I think like, at least from my experience, I think the like camaraderie of engineering clubs and like the fact that you know other people in engineering clubs and there's just like this general sense of engineering community. I think that does have something to do with the building, but I don't think like with the organization specifically it has anything to do with the building, because I think a lot of them like me in places that aren't engineering. I think like the space thing isn't that big of a deal. I think it's more of like the association with like a larger entity. Like these are all engineering clubs. And I think what I'm not super involved in government politics stuff, but I think like from what I can tell, I think the disparity is more so that there's no like governing institution that says Penn Debate Society, Moot Court, these are all like below the same thing, you know? Because they're all like, we associate them with government and politics, but also like a lot of people into government and politics here are in Wharton or are in the college or like are all over the place. And I think like that lack of a direct like line between them is what is lacking. And I think a space would like totally help, but I think that is a much loftier goal to ask than like, maybe this is also a lofty goal, but just like some sort of distinction or some sort of like direct line that ties them together. Cause I think that's where you get like that sense of.
No, I take your point.
I was going to say that I think I kind of disagree. I do think that the closeness of engineering is because we have like literally a quad and like most of like the really big groups like aerospace. I mean PR is like its own thing, but like air, we like essentially they all made in like town. So I do think there's you know like something to the space you're saying. Have you looked into like for example places like Herzog? Like I don't think you're going to get a house from the university, but like you could also look into like renting like your own house and then just like passing it out to the people that are interested.
I see, but personally, it's more of a living.
I don't know for sure, but like you can like sort of like do that kind of thing, you know, like a lot of like those spaces have a very strong communities because people like live there or like friends with the people there and they just like meet there, so that would also give you like more flexibility.
Yeah.
I don't think it's realistic that like the university is going to give you a space.
Yeah.
But I do think the proximity like does help a lot with like the engineering groups, and I don't think that's like replicable just because like college has like so many people. But I do think there's like a subsection of like that would be interesting to follow.
Yes.
Okay, so I do think that they're like, I'm trying to put this correctly, but there's already Perlman, and I think I really curious like the comparison with Kelly Ryder's house. Like there's no like being an English major at Penn is different than Kelly Ryder's house. Kelly Ryder's house is about like being a writer.
Yeah.
And I do think that there are like the whole idea of talking about civic education, civic virtue, like I'm all pro that in the curriculum, and you guys do have Perlman. But I think the conglomeration of organizations that you're trying to put under this are maybe a little bit different because you mentioned like civic house, and I think civic virtue is like different than government and politics in like a partisan way. And like I don't know if the people who are studying political science or like philosophy or all those things would identify necessarily in the same thing. So I'm not sure like grouping all of them in the same space would necessarily be like is something we have to think about of like how are we making that distinction. And then also we already have Perlman, so why do we need like another space, and like what is the difference between things that are in Perlman and then this other space?
Well, two things. One, it's not hard. It's, I mean, I would frame it more as like a dialogue and discourse, which is exactly how the university wants to frame it. When Mark Trogdon releases framework, it's gonna be all about that, isn't it? Peter Strzok, I had a meeting with him in October, he is area on that as well. It isn't a partisan thing, and to be clear, the Pendant, the College Republicans, and either part of the club would not be part of this. This is only for clubs devoted to debate and discourse, that's government politics and law, as kind of the subject, that makes sense. And in terms of the programmatic stuff, I mean, just talking to the leaders of all these programs, even though they're all housed, first of all, they're not all housed in Paris. That's number one. Number two, they all feel completely fractured. They don't talk at all. They don't feel like there's any, to your point, that there isn't really, there isn't even a governing body for them on the administrative programmatic side to kind of feel some sort of kinship, let alone student groups. It's all just very kind of scattered. And I don't know, I just see a moment of like interest with the university. It feels very compelled to do something about this. And I just speak for general people in the Government Policy Association, are the leaders of all these other clubs. Our kind of discontent with this culture at Penn. So I just sense a moment of like interest where maybe something could happen and be done about this. And that's kind of what I'm voting on. I saw my last year here to make happen. And anyways, I do think that a space would be very helpful for that. And I think the leaders of these programs and the student groups.
So we've reached 18 minutes now.
Sorry.
We want to extend further. I know some people want to ask questions for a second time. We can maybe move that to another time. If there are motions to extend, we can do that.
Second.
All those in favor? Any opposed? The motion clearly passes for 2 minutes.
I have a quick comment sort of relating to Valia's comment. I'm also an engineer, and I think that yes, there is a big culture of tech and that sort of community at Penn, but I think that within engineering it is itself fractured. And I think this culture is due to the elitism that comes with finance jobs, tech jobs, and it's an issue with the university as a whole, I think. And I do think that we should change that, but like I'm in chemical engineering and there's like, it feels very, very fractured. I don't know a single person in CS who I haven't met like at some random thing that wasn't even in the equad. And I think that a governing body would do a great job doing this, like as a person in engineering clubs, like I've been able to see people in EDAB and they have like town halls where we can probably, voice our concerns about engineering classes, but I think there's not sort of that community that you maybe believe there is unless you're part of that community yourself. Do you know what I mean?
No.
We have 1 minute. So anyone who hasn't asked a question yet, but
I have a sort of a framing question, which is just like when you came here today, is this like because you're seeking like advice and insight from us? Is it like approval of something? Like what is it that just so we can know?
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to learn from you guys, because you guys know a lot more about how shit works here than I should. But number two, like I'm hoping, I don't know how this would work, but to check your guys' name as someone, as a group that would be interested in the idea and concept. So when I go back to Katie Bonner, I can say all these people in all these groups in their positions and capacities as XYZ titles say that they would be interested in this and want to see this happen, at least in.
so I'll just add to that point, what we can do the next GBM, we can present the document, and then that could be presented as like maybe more of a formal proposal. And then the following GBM, we can vote to approve that document and then have this as to speak on behalf of the entire body.
Yeah.
And we have reached the end of open forum. If there are any motions to extend, just let it move on if there aren't any.
Can I ask one question? Like move for like 1 minute.
You can make a you can
Wait,
move for 1 minute.
Curious.
We have to vote.
I move for 1 minute.
Second. Any opposed? Okay, 1 more minute.
I'm curious to know, have you had like, you see the difficulty in reaching and talking to these administrators? Because I'm curious if like, say you had this idea and you're working on it as you're a freshman, would you even need the UA as a body to help you achieve this goal? Or is it more like you've had a lot of spearheading and I just want the UA to like pass on the job?
So speaking of, I only started this whole thing like in August.
Yeah, that's what, because I'm very shocked, like in August you met with all these administrators and like gotten all that approval, which is like really commendable.
Yeah.
I think like as a UA, we're definitely interested, I think, to discuss this and entertain it. So I was just wondering, like, do you think her job is more like continue the project information gathering, or do you think like we're like a stepping stone towards helping you reach this? Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, I'm not asking you guys to like do anything really. Like, I mean, Tanisha wants we'll continue it when I'm gone and we'll see how much progress I'm making on here. We're still working together this year. But really, I just like want your guys' support. Yeah, that's it. That's really it. Like I'm not asking you guys to do anything on the house. It's a different thing. The only people who are so.
Great, okay, so that's definitely the end of that time, unless there are any more motions. Again, a document could be brought, you could present a document in the next GBM. Have a more formal discussion, at the following GBM. Any motions this time? Okay, open forum has elapsed, we'll move on to reports, starting with the presidential report.
Okay, hello everyone. I see some familiar faces and some new faces as well, so we're so happy to have you all. I know a couple of you ran in the election recently, so wish you all the best of luck. I hope you're happy that that process is finally over. And just so you know, associate member applications are still open, so there's always a chance to still be a part of the UA. That right. Okay, so my past meetings, executive coffee chats. I don't know if I ever actually mentioned this, but it was posted on social media. We did coffee chats with anyone who was looking to run or just looking to learn more about the UA. We had 77 signups. I don't know what this is. So that was great. We met so many people. Some of you we also met via coffee chats. So that was great. That's how I met Bishop. And then I did a one-on-one with Katie Bonner. We just talked about steering processes. I had CUD, which is the Council of Undergraduate Deans. We talked about the academic calendar for 2027 and 2028. That will be available for the community to give comments on. I had a lot of comments on it myself. So I feel bad for the people that are going to be at Penn at this time, to be quite honest with you all, but that's all I have to say. I'll be graduated by then, so. And then Penn Libraries, Lynn Farrington and Billy McCrane came and they just gave a huge overview of all these events that are gonna be happening for the fall 2025 exhibitions and events for America 250 at Penn. Apparently it's like, this is gonna be a really huge thing, not just at Penn, but like all over the nation. So they did like, they talked about all the events they're gonna be doing. Then I had, or not just myself, it was me and Mo, no, I'm lying. Who was on this call? Julia, you,
No.
just
Ada.
just myself and Aiden. All right. Who was on this call with the OREI office. This is the Office of Religious and Ethnic Inclusion. One of the days for our UA week, which Aiden will be going over later, is going to be an inclusion dialogue training, which is also going to be, or incorporating this under the bylaw and our bylaws that talks about how we have like a mandatory diversity requirement each year. This is what that will be fulfilling. And we're working in partnership with them, and they're going, and Luke Muhammad and Katie Bonner are also going to be there, and we're just going to do like this workshop with them. Really excited for it. So they were just going over the overview and just planning things out. Then I had the Penn Forward undergraduate working group. Again, it's confidential, but we meet every single week. Musab and myself met with Katie as well to again talk about steering processes. And then cabinet met with NSOAI. We talked about the numbers for NSO and SYO engagement being user orientation, secondary orientation, and programming, sustainability and programming mentor meals numbers and funding sources for the mentor meals program. Does anyone want me to elaborate on anything that's listed here? Yes.
Sorry, could you talk a little bit about Penn Forward? Like, I know it's basically like an overview of what the plan is looking like and how the student responses they ask for are gonna be used.
Yeah, so Penn Forward, so again, I think I was like September 3rd, I think Jameson announced this big strategic initiative that he's doing, Penn Forward. And there's 6 working group. I sit on the one for undergraduate, and basically it's myself and Max Annunziata sit on with all these deans and various professors and just people like department leads from different schools. There's representation across all 4 schools, and it's basically just a brainstorming place for us to think of ideas without any limits, if that makes sense. And then the timeline for this again is supposed to be, hopefully there's supposed to be implementation rolling out in spring of 2026. So super duper fast timeline for whatever it is that we think of in these groups.
And do they have like specific areas that they're hoping to focus on, like targeting with the Penn Forward plan?
I'd say each working group is focused on different things. They're in the minutes somewhere from like what all 6 of them are. But each one of them focus on different things. There's kind of a little bit of overlap. For the undergraduate working groups, it's literally just talking about the undergraduate experience, anywhere from like, I think it's mainly academics focused, but like there's different buckets that they're looking to focus on, and whatever comes out of these brainstorming, but like they're gonna put them all together and really try to target things. And I will just say that the ideas are huge, broad, like the craziest things to get everything, but like just blowing up the place. Not actually. Any other questions?
Yeah, the comments, someone had a comment. Go down to like the UR, yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Never mind.
Thank you. Any questions about the NSOAI meeting or anything else that I've talked about thus far? No? Okay, great. Upcoming meetings. Cabinet is meeting with business services tomorrow. Thank you all for all your agenda topics. Thank you, Sova. Then we have Setley on Tuesday, have a one-on-one with Katie Bonner tomorrow. My one-on-one with Gary Rapora, who is Associate Vice Provost of Education Academic Planning on Friday. And then Cabinet is also meeting with the Provost on Friday. Again, thank you for your topics. We also have Penn Wellness and FRES, Facilities and Real Estate Services, coming up, as well as career services in the next week, and I'll have to send all those agendas a week in advance. So we're going to collect agenda topics for those now as well. Let's start with Penn Wellness. Don't speak all at once. Does everyone know what Penn Wellness is? Okay. Yes, Audrey.
Do you ask about if they're doing like a COVID shot clinic? I think it's
They are.
clinic. Like,
Yeah.
if so, like what they're using to promote that? Because I know they said last year they were planning on like using some new promotional methods.
Okay.
We could follow up with the new vaccine guidelines, how that affects things.
Okay.
Yeah, what vaccine get to you?
Huh?
Which vaccine get those? That's
Sorry?
Are they using the ones from the government or ones from like the, what is it, like Association of Pediatrics?
I guess we'll be asking for more clarification on that. Yes.
Can you ask about how they're gonna continue to promote, like what should be done in terms of like Title IX complaints and like, like domestic violence?
Anyone else? Think of this as like, again, a place to foster project ideas. They oversee obviously like the physical building of like student health and services and being like all of their virtual like therapy sessions, like counseling. So
I guess like maybe just asking about like general student engagement with their counseling program.
which counseling program?
They permanently have just like an undergraduate focused student counseling program. That means like, like someone to talk to like straight away, like they'll have someone like available for them to speak with.
Like the peer counseling?
Not peer, I think it's like actually like a lesson.
Okay.
Leo's hand is raised.
Oh, Leo?
Oh, thank you. I would be curious as to vaccine stats, if any of those rates have changed. And also it'd be good to check in on the vending machine on the third floor of Arch. What's the usage? What are people using? How is that being replenished? That kind of thing.
Also, like, maybe we should be getting more credit for the.
Yeah, like could we get our name on it? That kind of stuff.
For those who are not familiar, there is a vending machine on the third floor of Arch that has free like over-the-counter medicine, condoms, Plan B. I think there might be Narcan in there as well, and adjacent stuff. And that was a UA project done by our former vice president, which we basically get no credit for. So that's what he's referring to.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely worth bringing that up again. Thank you, Musab.
Here's all the things we could ask them about if you're feeling sick or stressed, or you want to waive or enroll in insurance. I think some people also feel passionate about like the PSIP plan. If anyone has anything to say about that, yes.
Oh, the transit thing for people who are temporarily disabled.
Okay.
And health insurance not covering vision.
Julo.
Can I answer questions about like the wellness thing? Because I met with wellness.
About what wellness
The
thing?
vending machine, like.
Go for it.
There is a Perpetually Productive Justice. So I think UA is on, like, there is like a sticker.
Oh, on the side.
Side, yeah, it's like PRJ, UA, wellness and.
Wait, the circuit's pretty big. I was referring more to like on social media, they posted like without tagging us, they posted a picture cutting off the UA logo. Oh my god.
Okay, it's because it was technically headed by, okay, this is like, there was a lot of like clashing with UA and PRJ because wellness technically led it and then it was cut off, like Michelle and they took the, okay, that's like a separate.
Wait, no, it's okay.
Because there's beef, like.
I think it's important to know.
There's beef, because like they try to take all the credit, but.
Who's they?
Well, Michelle, I guess, like, no, and then I had to like.
Oh, well, I apologize. Let us
I don't
give
know,
you credit where
like,
credit's
I was on the PRJ side of like the situation, but like I can talk to you about the numbers afterwards, because we met with Jackie from Wellness.
Okay.
Who oversees it, and we're trying to implement Oakdale into it, so that's like a separate. Here.
Thank you.
But I can give you numbers.
Okay. Miriam.
Oh, I just wanted to look at the eye insurance. I think that's like a separate, it's like when you enroll for the pen insurance plan, it's like the regular plan, and then there's like, ophthalmology separately, and then
Yeah.
also dentistry is separate.
Yeah.
I
I have a question.
Anyone else? Mukhtar?
Well, to Musab's point, maybe instead of like just tagging UA, we could just UA brand the products, UA, Narcan.
Sticker.
Giving you a way to rap.
Right to the top.
That was good. That was good. De Silva, did you have something to say? De Silva, did you have something to say?
No.
Okay. Sorry. Anyone else? Anything else for panel on this? Ion.
I guess like asking about why things like dentistry aren't like immediately included within like the plan. I know like
Dentistry separate.
what?
Dental insurance separate.
It's separate.
Yeah. E-bike, health insurance? None of you have dental?
We're still children, Pierce.
We're not?
Well, be on your parents till 26, thanks to Affordable Care.
Okay, alright.
Yeah.
Thank you for the wellness topics. Let's look at Frez. These are like all things building related.
Love sign, like sticking stuff on the love sign.
There's a absurd amount of missing bricks. I don't know, there must be some group that's demanding their members to get bricks from local.
Yeah, it's like, it's old pledging, I think.
Yeah.
Education.
Well, what do you want them to do? Put guards?
Well, I just, if they like use grout. Or maybe, I don't know if the correct terminology, but.
No,
you know, if it's not just placed, but if there was cement.
Like a binder.
That's right.
And then there's a lot of missing or broken lights as well, which I could.
Okay. DeSilva.
I don't know if this is a better question for business services or for Frez, but I think like the photo that I sent to Kat today of like them really just dumping recycling into the trash.
Oh.
That's Frez.
That would be Frez, yeah, just like asking about like, have they done any sort of like audit of like their like, you know, the recycling system, like seeing if it works, because there are now eyewitness accounts by the undergrad assembly of them just throwing stuff into the trash.
Thank you. Musa.
But also the like sprinklers, some of them are on caps, so like shoot the air.
Yeah, I got hit by one.
You wanna see?
I think someone had a question about Wonder, the new place as well. That could be a question to ask them about, as well as the new location of Insomnia Cookies. So I'm gonna put those on there. Pierce.
What are they doing with kind of sushi dining stuff?
Like
They're
that,
doing
that,
something.
that place.
I think it's just like
I
packages.
thought that's Amazon now.
Yeah, but it closes down now.
Yeah, it's like temporary. They do that every year. These are for like temporary packages. A good question. Anyone else? Alexa?
Just kind of how they're working with Penn Sustainability and like working towards the climate action plan in general.
Anyone else? Here.
Occupancy rates for real estate, it could be broken down by like, business, office space,
Okay.
retail.
They like take suggestions for like bringing new spots to campus and the empty like places that they own. Like the area next to Dig where like Urban Outfitters was 2 years ago.
You're asking, do they take recommendations for?
Yeah,
places
like how
to
the
look at?
process works, like open.
Okay. I saw a hand, yeah.
Once again, I don't know if this is something I should be asking Frez or business services, but just like generally, like, you know, the companies that they're gonna be working with during the reconstruction of 1920s Commons.
Probably overlapping.
Yeah, I don't know, I might ask both.
Okay.
Also slide into Michael Skills.
Pierce.
Like, I guess updated construction timelines, because they're not really like.
Yeah, that they like anything construction related right now. Perez is probably overseeing that. Any other questions? DeSilva.
I guess like just general progress updates with the renovations to Fisher Fine Arts Library. That's what it's called?
Yeah.
It's called? I don't know, I barely said it there.
I mean, they're also doing construction on the upper quad, so there was confusion with what you meant by Fisher.
That is fair. I need to get all that out.
They're doing like restoration, I'm pretty sure. I think they told us last year. Jeffrey.
I know this is a stretch, you'll probably get like an MBA, but like any and all expected vacancies in any building.
Upcoming?
Upcoming, current, expected.
Okay. Here.
About that, what are they gonna do with skulls coming back?
Who? Skulls.
Yeah, what are they do about it?
Like, where are they gonna be placed?
Yeah, like is there gonna be a new building?
Okay. Any other questions for Frez? DeSilva.
What's gonna happen with the Pike House? Maybe that could be lumped in with the schools question, just like general vacant space on
Do they
campus.
own the Pike House?
Yeah, I imagine they had to like take it over, yeah, cause otherwise who did Pike give it to? They're not operating.
You can read their news, they have like a,
The Pike has a newsletter.
yeah, they have like on their website, I was like looking over it.
Pike newsletter.
Jeffrey?
And like to expand on that, I would like to know more about like the like the real estate policies for all these like frat houses? Can this just come back? So,
That's.
but like, I don't know, it's just the whole process, it seems absurd, like they can just like come back and there's their old house. Like I remember Ted, they just like showed up from there on there.
It's a good question. Okay, yes, Bobby.
Yeah, I'm not sure if this is a Prez question, but why is Amy Gutman still only open to engineering? I'm not sure if that's Prez though.
I think it would be, I think we asked question.
And the services is bank card. Access.
Oh, you were asking for access?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That'd be more like business services, but we can ask them about that. It might be something like maybe Amy Gutman herself was like only engineering.
Faster in Germany.
Okay, any other question?
We didn't really ask for IDs though, so if you really wanted to, you could probably just go.
Wait, they asked me.
No,
if
they
we
don't
did
let-
ever even.
They check my friend's picture.
Yeah, they check everything.
Because when you scan it in.
Yeah, any other questions for Prez?
Jeffrey.
Remember the summer you not flea market, the idea we were talking about during maybe like
The swap and shop.
the swap and shop. Are there any vacancies? Like my question, but like specific to summer.
Yeah, I understand. Okay. Just a little more context here, Jeffrey and slash myself, but mainly Jesse, Jeffrey is looking to do a project. NYU has a swap and shop, like a physical space. Oh, Pierce as well. My bad. Has been looking, they have a swap and shop where like literally students like bring in like their extra like the end of the year, you can literally just swap and shop. So we're looking to do something here at Penn. Obviously, we have a lack of spaces though, except for random pop-up buildings that show up there. Yes.
Do you mind if I ask this to Jeffrey? Is this like meant to like compete with like the end of year sales that go on that are like typically held like outside on like high rise green?
You should ask Drew.
Oh,
Maybe we'll
yeah,
keep
you know,
it,
also,
let's keep it to questions for Prez, because we're.
When does this agenda due, just in case like people have follow-ups?
I'll probably, I think our meeting with them is next Wednesday or something like that, and it'll probably, so by Wednesday. So if you have any other thoughts, questions, concerns, send them to me by Wednesday, please. And then lastly, career services. Audrey?
Last year when we talked to career services, I had mentioned more training for the like peer or like graduate students about jobs in humanities fields. So just following up on that, like if they're doing anything to be proactive there.
Okay.
Photo booth credit, like it should be like the UA photo booth with career services, not like career services booth.
GAPSA does also pay for half of that.
Bro, GAPSA doesn't even exist, bro.
Actually, they do. I think.
Jeffrey.
I heard they were like doing renovations on the tampons. Like, what's happening with that?
Like career services.
Oh, sorry, career services. Oh, you're doing
That's
it.
your
Tampon.
Yeah. Ion?
I think like maybe more about like job training, like in relation to like government jobs or like public sector job training.
Okay, thank you. I saw a hand in the race. Bobby?
I don't know if they do this, but I haven't seen it. I just feel like there's like very little guidance for freshmen pre their first career fair. Like a lot of them ask me if they should bring a resume, and I feel like that should be like very obvious information that should be given to them before. So I don't know if there's like some way of getting that information out, but.
It's a good point. Mukhtar?
This isn't really like working for like related to a need, but I'm curious if career services reaches out or is contacted by clubs, particularly because a lot of clubs, especially important, do provide some sort of career mentoring or training, and I want to know if career services knows about that or has any inclination about guiding that process at all, or if it's kind of like the Wild West.
So you're asking, do clubs reach out to career services for guidance on career advice? When they
Yeah,
do like
or
the
vice versa.
workshops?
If tries to collaborate with sessions or workshops with these clubs.
Wait, I have an answer to that. It's yes.
Yes, okay, then you don't need to ask that question.
Any other questions for career services? Their website looks pretty thorough.
It's like really good. They have so much.
Yeah. Slide up, they have like everything.
Yeah.
Expirations, outcomes, events,
It's underrated office.
jobs,
Oh, there's
internships.
just people.
Huh?
So low.
I guess like, I think like this might be just an accessibility issue, but like there are certain resources that career services does have that are just absolutely difficult to get to. I think a really invaluable one is Career Shift, where like you can find like the private email of like anyone you're trying to network with. It's a little insane. But like you have to like explicitly search that out. There's no real easy way to find out about it, and you only find out about it by talking with career services. I guess like have they thought about doing an update to their their website and just like overall making a lot of these resources, specifically Career Shift, just more accessible?
Okay. Pierce.
Adding into the wardrobe.
Wardrobe?
Yeah, like the pen has like you can get a gift card to the wardrobe once a year.
It's kind of, isn't it like the one where like you can get like interview ready clothes, etc.
Oh.
Okay, any other questions for career services? No? Okay, period. I'm done.
Yes, again, we could just close the laptops. This should be much quicker now, the last few boards. I do apologize if it was late on a Sunday evening, but I appreciate it.
I need to apologize, I signed up for this.
Not too late to quit. Okay, we had UA student on Tuesday. Reminder that attendance is 2 student meetings a semester. Attendance is mandatory. I think the meetings are decently fun, so come to the next one on the 14th. Otherwise, you only have 2 more chances to make up your like attendance. Otherwise, you'll have to come to all 4 the next semester. Additionally, I think it would be nice if everyone like came to the next steering with thoughts on why do we even have steering in the first place. I think it's important to think when we do things in the UA, the reason behind why we do these things. And so I think UA like steering is a very good opportunity to restructure the way in which we think about the UA and its purpose on campus. So great opportunity to make a lot of like molding. So this year I really hope to kind of change the way we do UA steering and the way groups interact with UA steering. If you have thoughts about it, talk to me afterwards. I'll definitely be in like definitely love to sync up on that. Okay, met with Naya and Katie. So I'm conducting one-on-ones with like all the steering groups. These are like 20 to 30-minute conversations just on their goals, their thoughts on steering, etc. I had these 3 like in the past couple days, and then I have all of these next week. So if you would like to know information about them after I meet with them, let me know. That's everything.
You also plan on meeting with the other class boards or just CB27?
Well, 2 things. One is like we combined class boards into one group for steering.
You need pass that bylaw?
Yes.
We're gonna pass on the 14th. Okay. But the second is like, even if that bylaw is not passed, the other class boards are about to fail their attendance requirement, get kicked out of steering anyways. And I think like, I'm just of the opinion at a certain points, like I can only hound a group so much before it's not worth my time nor their time. So if other class boards don't want to come to steering, like not to come to steering.
Wait, I'm sorry. Can like the other person that can represent the class board is the president, or like can anyone in the class board do that?
Well, theoretically, anyone on an organization can come be the student representative, but I think it's in bad faith, in my opinion. But also, like, I do the one-on-ones with like the leaders of the group, or like the traditional student rep should be. So otherwise, like, I could be with Mo, and like that'd be like the 27 class board one, you know. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President.
So been a lot of AM interviews. That's what I've been doing and what I will continue to do. I don't know how to scroll it down. There we go. So UA week, this replaces the retreat educational portion that's typically held on a Saturday. So these are mandatory trainings. There will not be committee meetings this week. Not this week, but the week of the UA week, which is the following week. There will be makeups if you absolutely have to miss, but that is more cumbersome than actually attending, so I would recommend that you attend the required portions, which are these 3 nights. We'll have a general overview of the UA, the inclusion training, which I already touched on, and then on Wednesday, we'll talk a little bit more about the university structure, committees, and how we interact with all the stakeholders. So we will send out the locations of these shortly, but this is the timing. I will send this out in an email and put it on Slack, and we'll have everyone reminded in committee meetings as well. But these are required trainings, and again, this replaces the educational retreat portion that is normally on Saturday. And we'll hear more from Aiden shortly about a social aspect at the end of the week. But these are all required. Did you have something to add?
I was just gonna say, like, and at this point, like starting that week, all new members, being all elected members and associate members, will now be onboarded. So it's a great way to meet them and bring them on board. And then
we also will be door knocking for our lovely new members once we have that announced tomorrow. So for the elected members, we'll do that tomorrow evening, and then for the AMs, Friday evening, we will make stuff. So if you're willing to help out with that, please come up to me after, and we'll get you connected with that. External seats. I give external seats to those who fill out the form, and then I'm leaving the rest of them open to new members. So these are the assignments. I'll send an email in the next day or so connecting you with the contact for your external seat. And if you believe that you've signed up and are not listed, I'm happy to accommodate you, but these are the current assignments. And then I've left the remainder to the new members. That's all that I have. Thank you.
Alright, hello everyone. Last week I met with Katie and we discussed club appeals, model structure, committee roles, funding steering assembly, and a very important thing that I'm trying to work on this year. And it's alumni engagement and fundraising, because we need money. So this is like a little document where I put a bunch of notes. It's probably gonna be important for like comms committee. So general points that we talked about is alumni will be more interested if, like in general, if their name goes on something, like a project idea funded by X. And if they're kept engaged throughout the years, like newsletters with updates, what they've been up to and stuff like that. And we also should not be asking money just to fill in the gap for like a yearly recurring cost, like airport shuttles, we're missing money. We shouldn't like make it sound like we just want to fund that every year. And we also shouldn't ask for donations when reaching out the first time, because why would we? So in terms of fundraising, some ideas we had were creating a UA gift fund to support retreat, member education, and student services. Frame the asks around budget cuts and new initiatives despite an existing budget. Highlight the clear use of funds and offer donor recognition, like naming and publicity, and using the milestones, which I'm really excited for. I mean, half of us won't be here, but the UA is gonna have its 51st anniversary in 2 years. So planning a little thing would be really fun. And also allowing for general initiative specific donations. And one thing I worked on over the summer was a database of former UA members. And this goes from the 41st session, so from 2013 to 2014.
wow.
This is everyone who was on the UA with the year they graduated. I was really fun with them. Anyways, so I kind of like started the work and would love to pass it on to someone who wants to look into like previous minutes and like talk with like Penn Traditions and Penn alumni to learn about like who was on the UA. And again, things we can do is like regular newsletters with updates, photos, and impact stories, share our legacy and current projects, and even reach out to past leaders, especially people who are on exec or involved people for like advisory and fundraising roles, and just keep the engagement ongoing. There's some like ideas that I discussed with Katie and I really want to work on this year. If anyone has any interest or any questions, feel free to reach out or just ask, I guess. I'll be talking more about it in the upcoming meetings, hopefully. And then our SAC exec had a weekly meeting. We talked about our first funding round and how it went. Surprised it was not that good. It was rough. We set up the committees for the upcoming rounds, and I'm having those meetings again next week. But thank you. Yes, Leo. Wait,
Oh,
okay.
yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
thank you. Mo, I just wanted to make sure that I shared this. I started a like alumni contact location industry sheet. It's in the speakers drive. Mostly it just has people from last session, but I tried to collect people from 51 and 50. That one has like phone numbers, email addresses, the city that they're going to, and the industry that they're in. Again, it's only like 20 people, but I think like making sure that seniors leaving are forced to fill it out before they get their UA, I don't know, like the fancy graduation stoles. I think that's a good policy. So I just think like these two can work in tandem, and I wanted to make sure I brought that up.
Thank you, Mr.
Awesome.
Solda.
Thank you, Leo.
For sure. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I have a discussion paper for a project that I want to start that I want to share. Okay. So this is a project idea that I brought up in academic initiatives committee, and I think I brought it up in exec as well. But I want to bring it up here for any collaboration across committees as well. So various scholars programs at Penn host pre-registration dinners before the course selection period starts. And at the events, each professor in attendance presents the seminar for 30 seconds to 1 minute. And many of these seminars fulfill gen ed requirements for those in the college, Wharton, and engineering and nursing. I want to pursue a project that expands this idea to all Penn students. I mean, like eventually, but pre-registration dinners or other like forms that this could take could help students fulfill a requirement with the class they're actually interested in, especially in disciplines that they wouldn't usually encounter. I feel this might be especially helpful for those not in the college, as sometimes students in Wharton engineering and nursing have to take classes in another school like the college. And I would like this to be an in-person initiative rather than online, because I feel many seminars in the humanities are dependent on the professor, and I think a lot of this these requirements are like humanities, but obviously it could be for other things. And by listening to a 30-second summary of the class from our professor, students can gauge whether or not they'd be interested in the class. So I want to start this project this year and get the ball rolling. So questions I have and general feedback points. Who should I contact for next steps? I don't think this necessarily has to take the form of a dinner. Probably would be harder for me to get it because of funding concerns. So what other forms could this take? And then would anyone like to collaborate on this project with me? And then also any other ideas or feedback? Yeah, Audrey.
I would love to collaborate on this project. I think something that like we did in transfer student advisory board was reaching out to the heads of all the departments. And like we did it just for the college, but they were really receptive, and like everyone we reached out to, I think, was really willing to speak. So even if we did like a few department heads from like the different subject areas within college, just to start, just to like gauge faculty interest. I also think in terms of form, like the lightning lectures they've been doing, like 60-second lectures.
Oh yeah.
I think that would be a cool thing. Like if, I mean, I know it can't really be outside because it'll be really cold by this point, but like in college hall, for example, like every professor goes up and does a 60-second lecture, people hang out. Like maybe there's snacks that the college office provides, but it doesn't have to be food dependent.
I like that idea. Yes, yeah.
Wait, I was gonna also say the 60-second lectures, and I think even though it'd be cold, I think like outside might be your best bet, because I feel like college students are the ones that are most inclined to go to college hall or like any specific space. It's like really hard to get everyone in like College Green or like next to the Ben Franklin statue. That's like a lot. Most people walk past that, and I feel like that'd be a good space. I guess it would be cold, but I feel like I would stop and listen if I thought it was interesting, even if I was just walking past.
I like that idea. Anyone else? Oh, Sim.
I would potentially want to join on the project as well.
Awesome. Anyone? Okay. Oh, Bobby.
I'd also be down to help.
Okay, awesome. Wait, love that. Okay, perfect. Thank you so much for listening to us. And that's kind of it. I have a business services one-on-one in this week or next, talking about airport shuttles and just getting numbers. Okay.
Man, it feels so weird walking up. We really gotta get a walk on songs going. I have a couple picks. I don't. What? Like you're trying to like boom clap? Was that the song you're trying to reference?
I don't know. I'm gonna try to make this quick because I have a paper I'm low-key cooked on. But yeah, in terms of meeting updates, the Transit Advisory Board met on Friday at the Pennovations Lab. Rafa and Shakar went and represented us, so they will be presenting a discussion paper, kind of talking over the meeting next week. They talked about changes to Penn Transit as well as their overall operations. As for quick project updates, I'll quickly speak to the Penn Student Census, which I've recently shared with Taya. That's going to be published on the website soon, and I'm going to try to make an infographic quickly for you to publish on the Instagram. Shakar is doing great things with the return pairings, updating it to allow more people to come back together. Leo and Julie are killing it with the college printing credit. Tanvi is going strong with the Houston Composting Initiative. Tanisha, as we all saw, is working really hard on the government house with GPA. Rafa is continuing her work with the ISS mentorship program, and Mr. Speaker is working on OGCA voter registration or voter information that I'm going to probably have to work on during my work study. But is there a specific project that you guys would like me to talk more about, or anything about the meetings, etc.? I did also meet with Bon Appetit on Friday as well, just one-on-one. Oh.
Really quick, 15-second what you talked with Bon Appetit.
Sure. So yeah, I talked with Bon Appetit just more like operational logistics over the Penn Composting Initiative, just because it's seeming less and less likely that we're going to continue with Penn Sustainability as a partner. So we talked about the costs associated with now shifting to them completely as a partner, which they seemed honestly really on board with. I think what we discussed that I'm debating what I'm not going to share at this moment, but that I will share in future meetings is just just a way to kind of offset initial costs. But yeah, we talked about that. We talked about the Text and Tell program, which I'm going to put Eddie in communication with Ms. Dombrowski over to make sure that's one of the DP opinion pieces. And yeah, I'm trying to think because you were also there, Nia. Did I miss anything? Yeah, those were really the meat and potatoes of it.
Wait, what's the price hike in the level of dining in Bon Appetit? We're on a certain level, it goes up tier above us,
Oh, are you talking about kind of how Duke also uses Bon Appetit and they seem to have a much better dining experience?
It's a different plan for Bon Appetit.
Like the dining plan?
Bon Appetit provides different levels of service, and Yale and Duke are on the higher tier of service.
Yeah.
I'm wondering what the price hike is between the two.
I can definitely ask about that. I didn't ask about that this meeting, but I'm meeting with them again on Friday. It's just going to become a recurring meeting that we'll have. But yeah, I could definitely bring that up. Anything else you guys would like me to? Yo, what's up?
You should just keep a mental note of it, because you saw that Penn is not actually recycling when they think to be.
Yeah.
Make sure Penn is actually composting.
Agreed. I think the thing that actually will make us compost is that we have a signed contract with Bennett Composting, who are the company that Penn will oftentimes. I also do think a lot of just Penn facilities is in need of an audit. When it comes to recycling, I know me and Carol will probably be camping outside garbage trucks 5 a.m. one day, inshallah. But what's it called? Yeah, no, I could definitely talk more about just proof that they are actually composting as opposed to just gathering food scraps and adding it to landfill.
Yeah, you might want to ask what happens when someone throws. Do you throw out the whole?
I will speak to that just because those are conversations I had to have over the summer. Yes, they will. That's why it's contaminations are a really big issue when it comes to college composting as a whole. They will throw out the entire thing.
Penn just throw something on purpose.
They'll throw a dirty fork into the mix. Oh no. But yeah, anything else I could kind of answer about the meetings I had, these projects, and anything else? Yo.
The college printing,
Mhm.
I the printing it's the credit is there, right? How is the advertising or telling people about it going?
I'll delegate to Leo and Julie.
Yeah, because I think it's college specific. My understanding from the meeting was that they're trying to control what is being said about it, so I'm not really tapped in.
Aren't they the last school to get printing paper? Everyone has it.
Yeah, as in the administrators, my understanding is that the administrators we're working with, they wanna control how they roll out information. I don't we're not going straight to DP with this yet.
Okay.
What? Oh yeah, go Birds.
Wait, Leo, it was how is marketing and getting information out about college printing going? Do you think college students know?
Yeah, actually, so Eddie and I were just talking about this a couple hours ago, but we're planning, and I'm not sure if Tay is also in the room there, but we were looking into it being a DP, one of the first UA DP op-eds, editorials in that UA section. So our plan, and I was just writing some emails about this before the meeting, genuinely 2 hours ago, is to confirm some key information and then try to bring together one like article and send that out as like a touchstone place, because there is no like single resource at the moment that explains how printing in all 4 schools work.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
What I meant was we couldn't just pawn it off to some random DP or like person.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Wait, it's not gonna be written by a random.
And then, because like I think previous, like for nursing, like it was, we didn't pay as much attention when nursing printing rolled out.
Yeah.
So, but like I think this is like, you messaged me as well, like we have to.
Yeah, I also think it deserves clout that the UA did it.
Yeah.
So I think like it should be pretty big, in my opinion, but.
Yeah, and also like our first DP column, like wanna highlight a project that everyone's gonna get excited from and like benefit from. So I think this is a good project to start off with. When we're just like introducing the column.
I think then kind of going on like a project that like people could be excited about. I think one thing that me and Naya spotted while we were at Stallman's, and that who took this photo? That Carol spotted while he was at Commons, was the text and tell program. This was something that initially like me and Eddie were like came to dining about, presented and talked about like getting some type of reporting form for students to use just to talk about issues in dining halls as well as good things as well. And they've since implemented it into like an actual working program. So I imagine like that would also probably be a really good project to talk about. But I think that's probably it for me. Any other questions I could kind of answer?
DHT, yeah.
I chant, the mouse isn't working. Oh, no, now it is.
AI.
Woo, this thing. Eddie.
Okay, we're almost done, so we can focus out last 10 minutes.
All right, first off, just an announcement for my committee to anyone that missed the message. We're permanently meeting at 8:30 to 9:30 on Mondays each week. We're still waiting on Huntsman rooms, which will take about 2 weeks to go through. We should likely be in Gutman or Van Pelt. Updates for the broader committee. I have formed a ad hoc committee for open expression. It's something that I discussed with CAB for a while, and so I finally made it. If anyone is still interested in hopping on, y'all are welcome to. I think we already have Stanley, Musa, Tanvi, Kushi, and you don't have to agree with like what I'm pushing here. I'd love to hear like insights from people that maybe like think there's some like issues with this project that would want to like adjust those. So I definitely love to hear your guys' thoughts on that.
Can you elaborate more context?
Yeah, sure. Elaborate on the open expression committee.
Yeah.
So basically what it is it is a committee that is going to look at free expression statements at other schools, Chicago being one example, UVA being another example. There's many more, and try to draft a statement that reflects the viewpoints of students on open expression on campus. So there might be like certain parts of other school statements that Penn students don't want to keep. So we would cut those parts, and other parts that students think are very important. So then we would keep those parts. And then after drafting that, after collecting enough student opinion to see if this is actually favorable, then we would pass a resolution. That's my sort of 60-second explanation of what this committee would work on. Couple updates just on what everyone in my committee is up to in case you guys wanted to offer your insights or hop on. Ospim and Chinmay are working on a guide for medical accommodations. They're working on improving the professor training material to hopefully make professors a little bit more accommodating for students with medical accommodations. Miriam is trying to create a catalog of international students by their region or by their country, something they can opt into so that when they get here, it's easier for them to find communities from their homes. And then also trying to put some extra like contact information on the ISSS website, which seems right now is it's very difficult to like reach out to someone. And Stanley will be with me on the open expression committee. Thanks.
Hey, Alexa.
Where's the mouse? Find the mouse.
Well, but just still left a lot.
Ah, there we go. Okay, perfect. Okay, so this should be quick, but our meetings now are going to permanently be in F86 after like all the switching, finally have our stable location. Something I did not put on the agenda, but I met with Noah Switstack from Penn Sustainability last week. We talked about adding an extra external seat to UA, likely will be added to freshmen. And then some project ideas that we all brainstormed was Gustav wants to work on a freshman or transfer mentorship program, something more formal than like what we currently have with the peer mentors. And then Jess is working on a meal plan expansion or adding more meal designations for students with certain medical conditions like diabetes, things like that. Mo brought up the idea of adding more dorm supplies, so more cleaning supplies to the dorms. And I think that's also going to be a project that the freshmen would work on. So if any freshmen are interested in that, join CES. And then Cameron talked about collaborating with OFSL, fraternity and sorority life, to just kind of work on improvements. He mentioned how OFSL departments at other schools kind of host like barbecues and are super friendly with everyone. And at Penn, that's not necessarily the case. So we want to try and have that. And then Max said that he's continuing to add water fountains to different buildings and wants to continue composting.
So wait, just to clarify, we have Cameron's in consistent communication with the OFSL office, just kind of talking about this collaboration.
He's going to start meeting with them to like try to see how he can improve like the whole relationship with them.
Okay, I was gonna say, cause I had a question for also, but that might be safe for another time.
Okay, sounds good. And I can let you know when he plans on meeting with them and just let me know your questions.
Sounds good.
Yes.
This is for Gustav, but on the freshman transfer mentorship program, is your idea that it would be like mentorship or like, is it between freshmen and transfers, or is it like a non-transfer or freshman mentoring a transfer freshman?
Yeah, so not quite between freshman and transfer. The idea is that I don't want to build this more formalized process of like a upperclassman. And there's either a freshman or a mentor is, and I kind of want to center this around one, like field of study, but also like general interests as a whole. I know of like many people who like their interactions with their peer advisor haven't been very fruitful. And I think career-wise that kind of seeking for guidance is a little disorganized. So hopefully the idea is to create like a more life.
Alright, that'll.
Good, anything to?
Well, yes, I don't have anything super major to speak about, but I do want to say thank you to exec for their Instagram takeovers this week. Especially Aiden. It was so insightful.
I really enjoyed your day of life.
We're gonna be doing like a meet the cab, meet the committees post soon, and then all the cab directors will be doing little takeovers as well. So get excited for that. And then I'm very excited to announce like super dedicated and helpful with comms. A lot of the Instagram posts have been like her help and like her creativity. She came and sat with me in a Huntsman GSR on Sunday last week. So very excited for what's ahead with this year with minutes.
We talked about this in the group chat again. Talk me to you guys.
Are there any topics for new business?
Okay.
No, yeah, I just.
I can share I can share everyone's project idea.
No, you're good.
Any topics for new business? Are there any documents to be presented for the bylaw?
I move oh, Leo, I'm so sorry.
Oh, I did have a new business topic. Do you mind if I take the floor here, Mr. Speaker?
Sure, absolutely.
Sure. I just wanted to express a general sentiment. I think it's very important that as the election results come out tomorrow, we make sure that we communicate to the members who didn't, or the students that didn't win their elections, that they're still absolutely welcomed in the UA, even if they're not selected as associate members. One thing I'm a big fan of is like the hidden third pathway to join the UA, which is literally just to show up because it is open to the public. I think making sure that we communicate that, making sure we reach out to people that didn't win and the people that did win, I think that's going to be key. So I just wanted to say that for 30 seconds.
Don't worry, Mr. Togo. We told all 77 signups to join as associate member.
All right, outstanding.
I was gonna talk about during the committee things wait, but basically I'm meeting with Timothy Rahman on like Friday. He like does art stuff. If like anyone has like problems with like art stuff on campus, like contact me and I'll like DM you like the Zoom link and you can help him about it yourself.
Thank you.
It's like.
Okay, so like a lapse.
We'll have donuts in this person return.
I mean, let's go.
Should I do an art?
Right, I wanna cut off the.
Yeah. Can I move to adjourn the meeting?
Second.
Second.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Okay, the meeting is adjourned. So-
Wait, just wait like 2 more minutes before you leave. Sorry, so really quick. In the live stream?
Yeah.
Wait, just take a seat. Like, oh no, you guys, you can yeah, you're free to go. Sorry, you guys leave. Thank you, current UI members.